All right, guys. We are back for another Dokkan battle video. So Minato had this really good idea. I was like jealous. I was like, wow, damn it, Minato. I love this, like this format right here. I told him, bro, I'm doing a video on it too. I'm hopping on this too. I actually really like the format Minato laid with this. He said that he wanted to do this as a way. I mean, I guess he didn't. I'm about to say the phrase like time capsule. He didn't say that. Exactly what Minato said was, I think it will be a way we could look back how people felt about celebrations in the past when they try and rewrite history. Let me actually just go ahead and grab this quickly. And then I could just hit this, and then I can paste. Boom. Right here. This is what Minato had to say about that, right? I feel like this just, like, is good. So, I want to do a video on Minato's thread as well. Obviously, he created this thread, to make a video for his channel, but, I mean, I like this idea too much, Minato, so I'm piggybacking off of him with this one. All right. I remember one time I did do kind of like a year versus year thing with this, but like so like look at this format right here. So we got int hit, right? And then we got a poll right here. And then it's like, so it looks like we got about 800 votes. Like, great, good, underwhelming, and bad. I really like the scale he's using here too. I think that this is pretty good. So I just want to kind of go over this, and I mean, you could see what my vote was, because my vote is the check mark right there. And then we could see, so barely anyone. I mean, yeah, you are just smoking dick. Put the penis down if you're gonna vote bad for Hit. Okay, here's another thing about 2025 Dokkan, right? And I think a lot of people have not grasped this. If we go through every major character for 2025 Dokkan. They all have like inherent flaws. These characters are not perfect in every way, right? Like last year, at the time we had Beast Gohan, who was like perfect. Like he was like a perfect character for a while, right? Until things, started to change. Many characters, I mean, look at Diamond Vegeta. Frieza's terrible, but then Goku is great. Vegeta can be a little bit iffy. The Super Saiyan Goku could be a little bit iffy, but then, they start stacking up. They're incredible, right? Like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, he's just good, but he doesn't have any crazy upper limits, but he doesn't really have like lower limits either. Like he's kind of just like good right there, right? Like even the great characters this year, Hit needs to build up. He needs to dodge. It is very easy for Hit to get slaughtered early on. And some of the longer red zones, not really so much. But like every character, they all have flaws, which I guess Dokkan really wants to do. This is okay. We don't need to hear. Let's get rid of this. I guess Dokkan is doing this just as a way, because it's we could do, I guess, a more natural power creep, which again, power creep is going to exist because it's a gacha game. They're trying to make money. I mean, yeah, I understand, scummy gacha game mechanics, and it sucks, and that's all valid and true. But at the same time, we are playing a gacha. We know what we're doing, right? So. Like they're making it, I guess, just a little bit easier to power creep characters without, all right, now, the boss are supering for 50 million, right? Like instantly, right? Instead, there's just like flaws, which then, they could begin at like designing characters who like, okay, so like, a lot of times Dokkan does like to try and go back and forth between like long and short content and stuff like that. And we'll see if that might be a thing. But like, if worldwide hits and it's like, oh my god, the content is so hard right away, like a lot of this wave of characters is going to be in trouble, right? Because right now we're in kind of like long event fight, like a fight meta, and most of the characters are built for that. Hit, we don't really need to spend too much time talking about. I actually am kind of surprised to see this many goods. I would think Hit is just a unanimous great. Seems a little like I do wonder if some like salty Sallies come in here and go, no, Golden Week is the worst ever, and then they just put like bad for everything. Unfortunately that is this is supposed to be for science. Okay, Blue Kaio-Ken. Now before we reveal what I voted and what people voted, to me this is the biggest issue with Golden Week this year. People will talk about content and stuff like that. And I mean, it is true by saying that this Golden Week is not out of the standard of Golden Week, right? Like, this is kind of just like a normal Golden Week. Last year's was definitely better, but like, that's kind of an exception Golden Week. This one fits right in with every other Golden Week. Like, it's just right there. But like, in terms of content and stuff like that, right? But what makes it fall behind, in my opinion, is this guy, who is not good enough. He's effective, right? Like, he's got a baseline, decent amount of defense. Baseline, he could do, like, some good offenses. But the way his standby, I think, is set up, I have an issue with. Goku is a real fish if this is not up, right? And then once that's gone, you're able to revive, and he gets this, and like, he's fine. But, like, they set it up to where this is not like a true team protector mechanic where we could just save this for the hardest, like, boss phase or something like that. We could try and do that, but then this guy is a fish, right? Like, you can get caught big time, right? Like, if we would try and do that. So it's like, that hurts him. And then, I mean, it's not just like make believe or, like, really going crazy. Like, it's like, bro, like, Goku and Frieza is horrible at the start of the fights, but 89, like 90% of the fights, like, of content right now, it's like you can pretty easily get away with Frieza not getting blown away, right? Like, a lot of those red zone stages, there's a couple where Frieza could be slaughtered early on, but for the most part, like, Frieza can kind of just, by the time you get to the tough bosses, you just get Frieza the fuck up out of there, right? This is something that's just, like, in your face at all times. And, I mean, it's bad. This will lead to a lot of losses. Like, just game over screens. Okay. So I voted underwhelming. I did not think, like, he's not, bad is, like, Raditz. Raditz tier is bad. I can't give him bad. Underwhelming to me. And, I mean, it's underwhelming with a special asterisk, though. Asterisk? Yeah, whoops, I can't speak. That's what I would say. Because the Golden Week TURs have a legacy, a history now, of being the best units in the game. I mean, a tier below the anniversary LRs, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like, these every year are the best TURs. Saiyan Day and Golden Week TURs. Kid Goku and Hit are, definitely. But this guy? No. He's definitely not. He's definitely not in the tier of Hit and Kid Goku. I mean, these are again, silly sallies here. Great? Please. Like you can like him. Let's, like, try and have, like, a speck of integrity. All right, now this guy we don't really need to talk about. Yeah, he's bad. This is bad. He's bad. Now, I will give him this. He's more effective on a full Universe 6 team, but because then we're guarding. But, I mean, he is so horrible. His design, it just fucking sucks. This is the, like, I think he's the worst designed character of all time, personally. I think he's number one. We will, well, I don't want to say we'll never see a worse one than this, but right now this is the worst. Raditz, is just on, like, he's under a more intense magnifying glass because he's a Dokkan Fest exclusive. Raditz was, right? And he did nothing. This guy is a banner unit, but, like, his design is way worse. I don't know, like, what is this? Dude. Like, him supporting when he attacks, like, okay, this is good on, like, 10th anniversary Tech Super Vegito or something, right? Like, this shit would be crazy, right? Like, the Phase 2 support, but, bro, on Magetta, who we're floating, I mean, you're floating him, right? Like, it's just, yeah, we don't need to talk much. He's the worst. He's the worst of all time. Okay, Piccolo. Piccolo's design is really bad, but I mean, he to me was not on the same level as Magetta. I would just give him underwhelming. Now, I am not a fan of any, like, I don't like any, like, self debuffing abilities. The character just sucks instantly to me. Like, I almost don't really care. Like, we're in 2025. We don't need to be doing, like, self debuffing characters, right? Like, that shit is just not, I don't know. Like, that is the biggest thing I can harp about with this guy, which we'll get to. I'm a little bit more favorable about this guy, but I mean, that's like that shit is rough. I think this Piccolo, I could have gone on board with this Piccolo if he also supported. So I don't know. Okay, so like right here, if he also was giving, like, 2 turns, 20%, 30% attack and defensive support. So, like, while he's sealed, he's still contributing damage to the team, I think would be very huge. Like, this is not, this guy can be fun. He can put up big damage, right? He's got this. Defensively, he seems like he's an effective character. But overall, I would say underwhelming for him. Adding support to him, I mean, if we're really going to keep his design the same, adding support to him, I think, is what would work well. So it's okay. So some people thought he was good. Some people said bad. I mean, you could probably, good might be a bit of a stretch for me. Like, on this 10 to 0 scale, I mean, I could get Piccolo to a 6. I could probably get as high to a 6. And then maybe as low as like a 2 or something like that. But like, underwhelming is good for him. Okay, so far I've been, well, okay. So far I have been on what the popular one is, although I suppose a lot of people say that I do say stuff and then everyone just kind of follows my lead on some of this unit stuff, so maybe that's not too surprising. Okay, alright, this guy. Maybe my thoughts on him will be a little bit different than the majority, we'll see. So this guy, what I was just talking about too with the debuffing, this guy unfortunately has the same thing. Now, his is not as bad as Tech Blue Kaio-Ken, because Tech Blue Kaio-Ken is oftentimes quad supering, right? Whereas this guy will just do, well, I guess he can do 1, 2, or 3, but he's not supering as frequently as Tech Blue Kaio-Ken is. And if there's a villain, I mean, this guy has a real impact. I think, to me, though, he can potentially take a lot of damage. So, like, he gets all this when receiving an attack. So, if your HP is super high when he gets targeted, he might take a bit of damage, but then quickly his defense will be insane, right? If he's in slot 3. He'll have monster damage reduction. This is a character who I think is pretty good right now, but I can see him aging out really fast. Because the second, like, bosses start creeping up a little bit more, like, this shit is not going to fly anymore. So, like, I think he's good right now, but he will age out quick. So, all right, let's see. Okay, so I did say good. I'm maybe underwhelming, like, good underwhelming. Like, I feel like I would probably peg him as, like, maybe, like, a 7 right now. But, like, I couldn't go lower than probably, like, a 5. Like, 7 to 5 range is where I think this guy is. So good was the majority, then was underwhelming. Not too much bad. A little bit of great right there. Okay. All right, Hit and God Goku. Now, a lot of times, I think with EZAs, I find that my expectations for EZA characters are far lower than most people's expectations for new characters. Now, this is different. Like, anniversary, like Dokkan Fest LR, stuff like that. It's like, I'm expecting them to be, the best units in the game level, which is what the 7th anniversary LRs were, the 6th anniversary LRs were, right? 5th anniversary LRs were insane too, right? Like, those characters. But, like, people, it does seem to me like people really care about how good EZAs are, right? Like, it's like, oh, I love this character back when they came out, and then the EZA ends up being good, and that has people, like, very happy, very hype. I think that this is just a good character. To me, I feel like they're just kind of like a strong character. Like, I would sort of compare them probably potentially to, like, physical Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Just in the sense of, I feel like they're just kind of like good. I mean, I suppose with some dodge and stuff like that, they could potentially just, get like slaughtered. But like, I don't like, again, like physical Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, he's just like good, not great, not bad, not mid, like he's just like right there. And I kind of just have similar thoughts with this character where they're just like a solid unit. I found it pretty easy, right? Like we did a bunch of kind of like team showcases and stuff like that. We're using this character. I found it pretty easy to just run them on teams. Maybe their design, using them quite a bit is a bit wonky. This is good. I wish this though, what am I looking for? No, this. I wish this was for every attack performed as well, right? So right now they get defense by attacking in slot 3, and then they get damage by essentially being targeted in slot 1 or 2. I think that the character would be a bit better if it was just attacks, build them up in slot 1 and 2 as well. But, I mean, they're good. They're good. All right, so let's see what we got right here. Okay. Oh, a lot of greats. I 7, 8, 9 range. I don't think I can't touch underwhelming. I would say, yeah, they're like a 7, 8, or a 9. I don't know. I just like great maybe seems a bit excessive. Like I feel like they land just right there perfectly in good. Is how I feel about this character. Okay, so Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla and Kale. I've used them quite a bit. They're very good, but the thing is that a lot of times it's kind of just, they're just like, I don't know, they're like maybe like a third unit on the team or something like that. In a specific situation, this character can go slot 1, right? Caulifla has her guaranteed dodge on the first attack. This is very valuable. This character will likely age better than most characters right now because of this. I think that this will play very well if they're just kind of like an add-on. In 2 years, if we're trying to use Universe 6 category runs, and this is the worst character on the team, they would be a good worst character on the team, if that makes sense. I guess that's a weird way to describe them, but it is true. Caulifla can start out pretty unimpressive before you do this. And remember, the whole kind of concept of this character is, you're kind of like getting a stack active with this, and, you're getting crit and dodge and stuff like that. So at the start, they certainly could look a little bit unimpressive before you get the actives and the build up and stuff like that. Now, remember, Kale herself, right now against a lot of bosses, Kale is capable of just slot 1ing pretty comfortably, right? I found that Kale is quite effective. As long as you have Kale at 24 key, I think she's a very effective defensive character. I think she's able to get the job done quite well. And then remember, we could either have a ridiculous offensive explosion with Kale turn, or, with Caulifla, we have a full guaranteed dodge turn. So I believe for this one I said good as well. Yeah, good. A lot of goods, some greats right there. Yeah, 7, 8, 9. Now remember, I'm not really, so I don't know, Hit and God Goku, I'm not really comparing them, if I call them a good, good, right? If I, 7, 8, or 9, I'm not really comparing them on the scale to if Tech Vegito is a 10, then this character's not an 8, right? But that's not what I'm kind of ranking them against the class of character it is. So Yellow Cornell or EZA, right? I'm comparing this guy to EZA TURs, right? We're comparing to these guys to Banyan and stuff like that. That's generally the way I've worked for several years now. I think a lot of times people kind of their expectations get out of whack, and then they get very upset is when you start thinking that shit like this is gonna match up to Tech Vegito. Now Kale and Caulifla, I think they definitely could have been slightly better. Without, making them, oh my god, a top 5 character in the game or something like that. But they're definitely pretty good. I would definitely go with good right there. Okay, so Tech Kefla. This is just very simple. Unless you're baiting, their power, I feel just explodes off the screen, obviously. I don't know. Am I wording that rude? Maybe, but yeah, it's true. Unless you're baiting, their power explodes off the screen like that. I just feel like that's a fact. And then you get to Kefla. I mean, the character is able to like tank, dodge, do huge damage. Just generally a ridiculous EZA. I'm more inclined to say that this is one of the best EZAs ever. Yeah, not surprising right there. Great. At almost 87%. So they're the most favorable character of the celebration then, Tech Kefla. Because Magetta was bad only at 81% though. What was Hit at? 76%. Yeah, so leaving this thread right here, Tech Kefla is the most favorable character of the celebration, and then Auto Magetta is kind of like the worst character, like people view of the celebration. I really like this. I might talk with Minato and maybe like this is good. This is good. I definitely would like to kind of like do these at the end of the month. He said he was gonna keep doing these at the end of the month. This is good. This is good. I like this. I do like the point system he made here. I think works very well too. Yeah, so I mean, if to me, Golden Week character wise, like I mean, I guess you could say it's fine because besides like Auto Magetta, there's nothing like but it's like this guy to me. This guy should have been great. He should be a 9 or a 10, and I'll accept no lower, right? Like, that's what this guy should have been. Because, like, last year, in Fappu and AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku, they were both great. 9 or a 10, right? 2 years ago. You remember? 23rd World Tournament Goku, Piccolo Jr., both great. 9 out of 10. So, it's like, this guy is not living up to the legacy of those great characters. So let me know what you guys think about Golden Week. I would certainly say Golden Week feels more on the fumble scale than like the massive W scale. But we'll see how things are going to go. We have the Global Dokkan celebration coming up. We have a new Dokkan Fest going to be announced in a couple of days. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys next time.